This is Vivid Luster Factory's Etched Glass DIY craft kit. There are 3 ways to get your DIY craft kit. You can order them directly to be shipped, delivered, or picked up locally from our website, vividlusterfactory.com. On our website, you'll also find the Crafts and Craft schedule. That is a craft beer and craft workshop that I host at different breweries around the city of Houston. Feel free to join me at any of those events. If you do reserve your seat to one of those events, I will get you a beer when you get there and we'll have a good time. The 3rd way is to book Vivid Luster Factory for a private event, and we've got 2 options for that as well. I am happy to set up workshop style at any private event. I always operate open house style where people can filter through at their own leisure. There's no set time and there's no PA talking or hollering to a bunch of people, and everybody can just social and mingle at their own pace. The other way is to do the DIY craft kit party, which means I prepare several kits and you lead your guest or they can follow the directions. Every kit includes directions and all materials. And there's also going to be a video to follow along with for every project as well. In the future, that will be a QR code right here on the instructions, so you'll have access to the video right away as well. All right, so the first step that we're going to take is to get our lens wipe and clean the surface of the glass where we want to apply the stencil. So you may want to consider which hand you will hold the glass with. You may just want to put it in the center. You may want it to be something everybody else can see or something that faces you. It just depends on why you're making this cup. Okay, so lay it down on its side. If you need to put something underneath the handle, that's fine. We do this on pint glasses, mugs, wine glasses, champagne glasses, any kind of glass. The etching cream is a permanent process, so it is dishwasher safe once we finish the project. Now, this is our transfer paper. It is a clear plastic on a white sheet of backing. It's not the easiest thing, but you'll get there. Maybe. If one corner gets frustrating, try a different one. Look, voila. All right. As this is a brand new sheet of transfer paper, I'm going to stick it to my shirt and get some lint off of it. It's going to help it release the stencil onto the glass. So just a couple pulls like that. And then you want to lay this across the image. It doesn't matter if your transfer paper it goes inside or outside of the edges of your stencil, as long as all of the cutouts in your stencil are covered by the transfer paper. Give it a good press. Pick it up, turn it over, and now we're going to pull the paper off the back of the stencil. If you notice that something is coming up, just press it back down and continue to remove the paper backing. All right. Now, an easy way to center your stencil is to fold it in half. Get those edges close to each other. Give yourself a little crease. It will not affect the final product. If you want to draw a straight line, put a ruler under the glass. You can use this side of this paper to act as a straight line. And then you just place it where you want it. Now, then you press down the middle and then towards the outsides, okay? Towards the outsides. When I'm sitting, I do this in my lap. It's easy to hold the glass that way. All right, give a good press to all the parts. Don't worry about anything that gets up against the handle. It's not going to be a problem. And then we're going to pull the transfer paper, leaving the stencil behind. If you've got two stencils on one glass, if you're making a double-sided glass, all of those are options that are included in the customization upgrade if you'd like. With any of my kits, any of our kits, there are customization upgrades where you can personalize and customize the stencils. If there's a color in that particular project, you get to choose those things. And with this project, you can choose to do an additional design on the other side of the glass. Okay. You're going to take your brush. You're going to dip it in the etching cream. You get quite a bit. It doesn't really matter. We're going to start working it around, going in all different directions. Now stay away from these edges if you can. Sometimes the etching cream can fume a little over an edge, and you may see that, and it will be permanent. So what I do is try to work inward towards the design first. As you can see, this is a very, very thin layer. And I'm just going to get the whole thing covered with a thin layer. It doesn't take a whole lot of etching cream to do this project. You will notice rotten egg smell or an egg smell. It is a sulfuric acid, and if you would like to, there are gloves included in your kit. Feel free to wear them if you have any sensitivities. I have been working with etching cream for about 5 years now, and I don't have any trouble with it. You can leave your paintbrush in your etching cream. We're going to set this up and allow this to rest for 2 minutes. Okay, 2 minutes is up, and I have brought in just a small bucket of water. You can do this, rinse this off in your sink when you're ready, but I'm just using this so you can see how I do it. All right, so now I'm gonna make another layer, and you'll feel it now when you push the brush across it. You'll feel that it's a little rougher maybe. I am trying to apply it thicker now, trying to create a white sheen over all parts of the stencil. So that does take a bit of finesse. I'm using the brush very flatly and kind of laying the etching cream behind as I pull the brush. Allowing it to stand for 2 minutes gives it the original layer of etching cream becomes a nice textured layer that'll really hold on to the second layer of etching cream for you. Before I allow it to rest for its last opportunity, you can see that it's a very thick coat. When you look through the other side of it, you don't really see any white shiny or areas that you can see through. That's what the second coat should look like. At that point, you can rinse off your brush. Any of this can be saved and used again. And now you wait 20 minutes. Okay, 20 minutes has passed. Here's what it looks like. Just dunk it in the water. And use your hands to rinse it off. This is when you might need the glove most if you have sensitive skin. Right off with a paper towel. You'll see the frosting on the glass and how it's different here than it is here. If you see any areas that didn't frost very well, you can try putting another layer on. But you have to dry it all the way in order to see all the places. So check your design for any areas. Sometimes it does happen. I cannot guarantee that this works on all glass surfaces. I can guarantee that it works on the one I send you. I have had trouble with other surfaces before. Sometimes a second application will work. Sometimes just acknowledge that it's a handmade piece. It's one of a kind, and you'll never be able to do what you did again. Now we're going to take the stencil off, and you can tear it to shreds. We don't need it anymore after this. Okay, when you get to the small pieces that persist, there's a few different tools that you can use. You can use a toothpick, you can use... So this is dishwasher safe now. It'll forever look like that. When it gets wet, it tends to disappear a little, but it's there when it's dry. Sometimes the temperature of the liquid that you put in it can make it look like that as well. But it's there and it's permanent, and I hope that you enjoyed our craft project. And see you next time.